Okay, good day, guys. Good day to you all. Welcome back to the Formula Sports channel. Thanks for being here. A gentle reminder, as always, to please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, we do appreciate the support. So, guys, I want to talk a little bit about an interview, a post-match interview that Theodore Tappa Whitmore did yesterday, right? And why it kind of bothered me when I heard this interview. I heard it, well, I heard what he said, or quotes from the interview from last night, but I heard it this morning, right? And it bothered me because it kind of surprised me a bit. It made me look at the game against Suriname a little bit differently. Like, for instance, I thought that after we went up 2-0, it was about game management from there, in terms of us realizing that Suriname were not good enough to break us down and just doing the smart thing and just sitting back in a mid to low block, right? And surrendering the middle of the park, surrendering possession to this Suriname team, right? So I thought that while I didn't agree with that particular tactic, I understood it, right? And I thought that this was a deliberate tactic, right? And even though I don't agree with that coaching philosophy, so to speak, I understood where Tappa was coming from, if it was indeed a coaching tactic, right? Here's the problem now, guys. Here's the problem, right? Because to be fair, after we sat in that mid to low block, there was never a nail-biting moment for me that where it looked as if Suriname were going to really break us down. There's probably one moment in the first half, and that was even before the mid to low block. There's probably one moment that was before, the time when we sat back deliberately, or we sat back for whatever reason. There's one little moment in the first half, the through ball they got in behind. Blake made the save, and also Becca as well. Becca had a shot and goal that required Andre Blake to make a good save, right? But apart from that, we never really had any nervy moments per se, from my perspective, in terms of Suriname looking like they were going to break us down. So I thought it was because it's a slow ball playing team, not slow ball playing team because they choose to play, or move the ball slowly, but because they don't really have the technical ability to move the ball quicker, right? They're a decent team, right? A decent team, but to be fair, our players were the better, or in terms of what we know of the players, our players were the better players on the park, right? In terms of the more accomplished players, right? The better players, right? So initially, I thought that it was just a deliberate tactic by the coaching staff because they knew Suriname couldn't break us down. However, Tappa's post-match interview made me realize that, hey, this might not have been so deliberate after all, right? Let me tell you what Theodore Tappa Whitmore said in the post-match interview, right? So he said in the second half, our team was a bit relaxed. We didn't manage the game in the second half. We didn't press our opponent in the second half. We allowed them to play in the game. So my question is, if this was not a deliberate tactic by Theodore Whitmore to deliberately sit back in a mid to low block and soak up the relatively tame pressure by the Surinamese, right? If this wasn't a deliberate tactic, then what took place in this football game? Look, I know that Suriname would have up the ante, so to speak, to try and gain control of the middle of the park because they had fallen 2 goals behind and they really needed to get back in the game, right? But this Suriname team should not be dominating the middle of the park against the Reggae Boys. Did they really and truly forcibly take control of the middle of the park? Because initially I thought that we deliberately sat back because of the tactic, right? But when I listen to this Theodore Tappa Whitmore post-match interview, I'm saying to myself, but it looked like Suriname really took control of the middle of the park, right? Took control of the possession, seized possession of the football. Ladies and gentlemen, this is concerning to me. How can we, look, against Suriname is a decent team, but in all fairness, in all truthfulness, guys, let's be real. Our team is a better team. We should not be seizing possession of the football, seizing control of the game for more than an entire half of the game to the Suriname team. They are an inferior team to us. They are an inferior ball-playing team to us. They are an inferior ball-handling team. They are an inferior technical team to us. We should not be, Suriname should, for more than a half, not even a 10-15-minute period, for more than an entire half, because to be fair, right, we did well the first 20-30 minutes. And after that, more and more, Suriname slowly but surely started to take more control of the middle of the park and take more control of the possession, right? So really and truly, it's more than an entire half that Suriname really and truly, were dominant in possession. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, both halves, Suriname finished the game with more higher percentage possession than us. Look, I am all for pragmatism, I have no issues with pragmatism, right? So I didn't really, while I don't think that we should be, when we have our foot on the necks of an inferior opponent, we should be ruthless. We should be ruthless when we smell blood in the water. So while I didn't agree with the tactic, or what I perceived to have been a tactic at the time, I understood where they were coming from. The boss just want to play it safe. The gaffer just want to play it safe and probably think this is the best way to go about it. Suriname ain't good enough to break us down. But my thing is that it is looking as if the Suriname team deliberately seized possession. Now, my thing is that, is it a case that our boys just really relaxed? Or is it a case that Suriname imposed their will on us? Is it a case that our boys really relaxed and sat back? Or is it a case where the Surinamese imposed their style of play, their system, their way on us? If that is the case, then that is concerning, guys. Is individual brilliance and good defense, won us this football game, individual brilliance in key moments, right? I think this performance was unacceptable. Look, congratulations on the win, Reggae Boys. It's a while we haven't kept a clean sheet. It's a while we haven't won a football game. But honestly, man, if we cannot be talking about seriously contending to win this title and putting up this performance against a Surinamese team, we're going when we buck Mexico. What is going to happen when we buck Mexico? Right? What is going to happen? Right? Added to the fact that the Suriname team, look, this game was a poor game overall, It was a poor game. The Surinamese were moving the ball at a slow pace. They were moving the ball very quickly, to be honest with you. The whole entire game was played at walking pace. It was a joke. No intent from the Reggae Boys, right? Scrappy midfield play. There were moments yes, there were a lot of moments when we did string some passes together, but there were also some scrappy midfield moments when we couldn't put a lot of passes together and we lost possession of the football, right? Lack of intent from the Reggae Boys, right? The man them, after we went 2-0 up, is like, the man them lack the intention, the desire, the purpose, the ambition, the drive to really nail the Suriname team to the floor. That is a problem for me, right? Even I thought initially the tactic was to sit back and counter after we went 2-0 up, right? Because we figured that the Suriname team wasn't good enough to break us down, and they weren't, right? But not even any intensity on the counter. We didn't even try to hit them on the counter. From going off of my memory, I can't remember a moment when we really and truly, there were 1 and 2 moments when I think about it, but for the most part, even on the counter, we lacked intensity, we lacked purpose, we lacked determination, we lacked the drive, right? So my thing is that, guys, this, when I heard this interview from Theodore Tappa Whitmore, man, it was concerning to me. As I say, individual brilliance in key moments and good defense won us this game. Right? So, just some food for thought, guys. So, guys, again, we need to improve in the upcoming games that we have in the Gold Cup. But congrats against to the Reggae Boys on the victory. So, guys, that's my 2 cents. Stay safe, take care, and until next time.